Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Last year, which chapter did we do? How many of you were there? How many of you were not there? Okay, fine. So the chapter which we dealt was 6th chapter. And this chapter deals with, what is the name of the chapter? Atma Sanyama Yoga or Dhyāna Yoga. So the title given was Topic on Meditation. So the chapter which deals with meditation is 6th chapter. Last year we had seen it. So this year we are taking 14th chapter. And what is the name of the 14th chapter? Guna Traya Vibhaga Yoga. Now what is the content of this chapter? This chapter deals with the mind. So last year we had given the caption Meditation Techniques based on chapter 6. So this time we can give the caption Mind Management Techniques. How to manage our mind. How to conquer our mind. How to discipline and tame our mind. If there is one chapter which talks about this topic, that is 14th chapter. A question may arise, why should I tame the mind? What is the purpose? What is the need? There are so many people living in this world without having any knowledge about any of these things. After all, why should we go for all this? Recently I went to a college. The topic they had given was Secret of Success. How to succeed. Give us the secrets. So then I asked them, tell me what are the factors necessary to succeed in any field? So then they started giving the list. Swamiji, concentration is very important. Okay, what else? Hard work, yes. Inspiration, yes. Perseverance, yes. Attitude, yes. Motivation, yes. What else? So one by one answers started coming. These are all the factors necessary to succeed in any field. And all of us, we agree. But then I asked the next question. What is that one factor which decides the presence of or absence of all these factors? Is there one faculty in us which will decide all these? Then after a lot of thorough brainstorming, they said, yes, Swamiji, there is one thing, and that is mind. Concentration. Which one decides concentration? Mind. It is the mind which has to concentrate. Attitude. From where does it come from? Mind. Hard work. Who decides? Mind. So, secret of success. If one has to succeed, one needs all these qualifications, and all these qualifications are dependent on one factor. And what is that factor? Mind. Then I ask them, tell me that subject in your syllabus which deals with this. Now that you have understood that mind is very, very important in deciding success, now you have understood that handling mind is absolutely necessary in achieving success in life. Now tell me one subject in your syllabus which you study, which deals with the mind, which tells you how to conquer the mind. And there was a total silence. It's a very strange thing. I know that this is one factor which is the most important thing in life, but at the same time there is nobody to guide me in the most important thing. So here at this juncture comes that scriptures like Bhagavad Gita. All of us, we are living in this world. We have to face lot of challenges, lot of problems, varieties of situations in life. And all these situations we are facing with this faculty called mind. Unless we know what this mind is, what its nature is, how it behaves, unless we have a thorough understanding about this mind, how are we to live an intelligent life? What is an intelligent life? Intelligent life is life when you are able to respond to all situations positively. When you are able to respond to all situations without disturbing your peace of mind, then we say you are living an intelligent life. Whatever the situations may be, it should not be able to disturb your peace. Can you remain at peace all the time? At all situations? Then we say, yes, you have learned to live life. Now, in order to have that peace at all the time, you must know what disturbs its peace, isn't it? You must know the workings of the mind. You must have the understanding about the mind. You must know what are the mood swings, what are the different moods mind can take up. And you must also know how to conquer these moods. If all this knowledge you have, then you will be able to easily handle your mind. And once you know how to handle the mind, you can easily handle the situations also. A person who doesn't know how to handle the mind, even a mere situation, he sees it as a crisis. Crisis means what? As though there is no solution. A situation without solution is termed as crisis. For a person who has no control over the mind, for a person who doesn't know how to deal with the mind, for him, every situation is a crisis. And for a person who knows how to handle the mind, for him, even the crisis is merely but a situation. There's no problem at all for him. There's a situation. And it demands a positive response, a right response. So therefore, it is very important to know how to deal with our own mind. This chapter deals with this topic. Guna Traya Vibhaga Yoga. So what are the topics which we cover in this chapter? First of all, we deal with what are the different moods the mind go through. What are the different moods, their definition, their characteristics, their nature. And then, under the influence of a particular mood, how do we behave? Under the influence of a particular mood, what type of activities come out of us? What type of thinking we tend to have? What kind of thoughts emerge in us? What kind of decisions we make in life under the influence of a particular mood? And then, because of these activities, what will be the end result? What will be the, where do you land up when you follow a particular mood of the mind, when you encourage a particular mood of the mind? Is it possible to decide these moods? That's also another question. Or am I a mere puppet, just having mood swings without any kind of control over them? Do I have any control over them? Can I decide the mood according to my own will? Do I have any freedom? Right. At the time of death, when I am in a particular mood, when I die with a particular mood, which are the worlds I go? After death, situations are also discussed. Right. And ultimately, how to conquer all these moods, how to become free from all these kinds of bondages. All these topics are dealt in this chapter. In the end, Bhagavan described the characteristics of a gunatita person who has gone beyond all these moods, who has conquered the mind. So all these topics are beautifully covered in this one chapter. So whether you are spiritual or materialistic person, this chapter will be of use to you. Do you want material progress? This chapter will help you. Do you want spiritual progress? Of course, this chapter is for you. Whatever be the pursuit in life, this chapter is going to help you a lot. Because it talks about my own mind. All my problems in life is because I don't know how to handle this mind. When I don't have control over the mind, the actions which I perform, the words which I utter, the decisions which I make, everything will be wrong. How many times you have heard people saying, I don't know how I spoke those words. Strong relationship, good friendship broken, good relationship broken. Why? You uttered something foolish. Why did you utter that foolish word? I don't know how I uttered those words, but what a mistake I did. There are very many situations in life which we repent later, isn't it? I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have spoken like that. What a big mistake I did. But why did you do it? I don't know. Now this I don't know will get an answer in this chapter. Why did you commit that blunder at that time? You committed those blunders because you were under the influence of a particular mood of that mind at that time. In that particular mood, you have no other choice but to behave that way. But later on, you came out of that mood and you came to know what a mistake I did. So these are all the instances where we find that mastery over the mind, knowledge, the understanding about the working of the mind is absolutely essential. Many times we hear children also saying, at present father's mood is not good, let me not ask now. Later on when he is in good mood we will ask. Definitely he will sanction my request, isn't it? What does it mood? What does it mean? It means that each and every one of us, that mood swing is there. And in this, when the moods swing, that person is totally different. The very same person is different under different moods. Right. So all these topics are dealt in this chapter. So now we will enter into this chapter. Let us chant the first two verses, introductory verses of this chapter. Repeat once. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. अथ चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः गुणत्रयविभागयोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच परं भूयः प्रवक्ष्यामि ज्ञानानां ज्ञानमुत्तमम् यज्ञात्वा मुनयः सर्वे परां सिद्धिमितो गताः। इदं ज्ञानमुपाश्रित्य मम साधर्म्यमागताः। सर्गेऽपि नोपजायन्ते प्रलये न व्यथन्ति च। 1 and 2 together. परं भूयः प्रवक्ष्यामि ज्ञानानां ज्ञानमुत्तमम् यज्ञात्वा मुनयः सर्वे परां सिद्धिमितो गताः। इदं ज्ञानमुपाश्रित्य मम साधर्म्यमागताः। सर्गेऽपि नोपजायन्ते प्रलये न व्यथन्ति च। Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Blessed Lord said. What did he say? So in this chapter there is no question being asked. Bhagavan himself is taking the initiative to tell something new. So what does Bhagavan say? Bhūyaha pravakshyami. Arjuna, once again I will tell you. Once again. Bhūyaha means once again. Once again means what? Already it has been said. This knowledge has been given already. But once again I am going to tell you the same thing. Now what does this once again mean? What does it imply? When do you tell something once again? When something is very, very important, you keep repeating it again and again. When something is very subtle, when something is very difficult to grasp, difficult to understand, you keep repeating again and again. Right? Each and every term has got a psychological background. Every term has to be analyzed. Bhūyaha, once again. Now, a teacher is again and again telling something to the student. Why? One reason is lot of compassion. The compassion of the teacher forces him or her to tell the same thing again and again. Not only compassion, but love also. Love and compassion forces you to repeat certain instructions. Isn't it? But this love and compassion in the heart of the teacher will arise only if the student is fully tuned to the teacher. You don't feel like telling something if the listener is not listening. Isn't it? The teacher may have the knowledge, but suppose the student is yawning. Suppose the student is looking here and there. Then you have the knowledge, but you don't feel like sharing it because the listener is not interested in knowledge. So when the teacher is saying, Arjuna, I am going to tell again this, what does it mean? It means Arjuna is listening carefully. It means Arjuna is an ideal student. It means that 13 chapters are over and he is not satisfied. He is saying, Bhagavan, I want more and more. Isn't it? He is not telling it, but his facial expressions are indicating it. If your profession is a teacher, there are a lot of things you have to learn from all this. Who is a good teacher? Good teacher is the one who not only teaches, but even while teaching, he or she should be able to know whether the students are understanding or not, whether they are enjoying or not. What is the proof of enjoyment? The students, they are not even aware how the time passes by. Isn't it? Many times the teacher is so boring that you keep on seeing the watch, and some of them even shake also. So an intelligent teacher understands that my class is really becoming a bore. Right? All these things are inefficient ways of teaching. It is a responsibility of a teacher to make the topic interesting. And for that, the teacher has to do a lot of homework. It's not that just come into the class and then speak. If the students are enjoying the lecture, then we have to, congratulate the teacher. To make it interesting is a responsibility of the teacher. Our prayer, what is our prayer? The prayer is student-teacher prayer. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinau Avadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahe. What does it mean? So this is a prayer which is chanted by the teacher and the taught. The teacher and the students, they chant, O Lord, Sahana Vavatu, Saha now Avatu. O Lord, please protect both of us. Sahanau Bhunaktu. O Lord, may we enjoy this process of teaching and learning. The teacher should enjoy the process of teaching, and the student should enjoy the process of learning. Let us enjoy it. Let it not be a very dry, mechanical thing. Let it not be merely for marks. Let us enjoy the very process of learning. Sahanau bhunaktu. Then saha viryam karavavahai. O Lord, may we put forth our best of efforts. So teacher's effort is in trying to make the concept clear and simple and understandable to the students. And in what direction should the students put forth effort? In trying to understand it in the right way. Saha viryam karavavahai. Tejasvinau avadhitam astu. Whatever we have learned, whatever knowledge we have gathered, let it be Tejasvi. Tejasvi means what? Bright, brilliant. Means what? Means whatever knowledge I am receiving, first of all, let me understand it. Number two, let me remember it all the time. Number three, let me apply this knowledge in the time of need. When a knowledge has got all these three aspects, then we say that knowledge has become Tejasvi. So I gain the knowledge, I understand it, I am remembering it, my personality has been transformed in the light of that new knowledge, and that knowledge is available with me at the time of need. If these conditions are satisfied, that knowledge has become Tejasvi. Tejasvinau avadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. In this process of teaching and learning, let there be no vidvesha. Vidvesha means hatred, dislike. Let the whole teaching happen in an atmosphere of love, in an atmosphere of peace. So the teacher is also loving the students, and the students are also having love, respect, reverence for the teacher. In this atmosphere, let the whole teaching progress. This is the prayer. So that is why whenever we have any class, we chant this verse. Before the Shānti mantra we chant, and then we start the class. Many times what happens is we don't understand the meaning only. We chant it mechanically. Isn't it? So here Bhagavan says, param bhūyam pravakshyami. Bhūyaha, once again. Arjuna, I am going to tell you something once again. The same knowledge which I have expounded in the previous chapters. The very same knowledge I am going to tell you in a different angle, in a different perspective. In engineering we have this different views, isn't it? Front view. Front view means an object. How do we see it from the front? Then there is something called top view. From the top, how does that object look like? Then what other views are there? Side view and then perspective. Side view, front view, top view. So many views are there. You are viewing the same object, but your understanding about that object, it expands when you see from different angles, from different sides, isn't it? Object is the same. So in the same way, Bhagavan is a perfect teacher. The very same knowledge he is giving in a different angle, different view he is giving. So in the 13th chapter, the name of the chapter is Kshetra-Kshetrajña Vibhaga Yoga. The very same knowledge, now he is going to give it in a different way. In the terms of gunas. So that is why bhūyaha. So all these meanings go for that one term. Bhūyaha, again. So here is a teacher who is interested in teaching, who is concerned about the student, who is full of knowledge, no doubt. Yogeshwara Krishna he is, Lord of all yogas. Here is a teacher who is ready to pour out everything to the student, and here is a student who, like a dry sponge, is ready to absorb everything. Bhūyaha. And now what is the term used? Pravakshyami, not just vakshyami. Vakshyami means telling. Pravakshyami means prakarshena, in detail, elaborately, leaving no doubts uncleared. Pravakshyami, bhūyaha pravakshyami. But Bhagavan, what are you going to give? Jnananam param jnanam, jnananam uttamam jnanam. What are you going to give? Jnanam, knowledge. But what is the unique feature about this knowledge? Bhagavan says, this is param, highest. Uttamam, noblest, greatest. Among all the branches of knowledge what you have in this world, Bhagavan says this is param, this is uttamam. Now why two adjectives with similar meaning? Param also means highest. Uttamam also means the best. Highest has to be the best, isn't it? Why two adjectives? So there Bhagavan Shankaracharya writes the commentary. Vishaya drishtya param, phala drishtya uttamam. What is a unique, feature about this spiritual knowledge? It is param and uttamam. Param means what? With respect to the content, it is the highest. Uttamam means with respect to the result, benefit, it is the highest. So content wise also it is the best. Result wise also it is the best. Param. Now what is the content? What is the content of spiritual knowledge? It deals with the ultimate reality. It deals with the absolute truth. It deals with the eternal reality. Eternal means something which will never perish. Therefore it is the highest. A knowledge is the highest which is relevant for all the time. Then that is highest. The very same spiritual knowledge was given in the Satyuga also. The very same spiritual knowledge is being studied in the Kali Yuga also. Why? This knowledge remains forever and ever. It is eternally true. It will never become obsolete, irrelevant. Unlike the modern science and technology. Every other day something new has come. Once upon a time, telephone was something great. What telephone? Dialing telephone. Then came mobile. Now comes smartphone. So every time something new has come, what has happened to the old one? It has become obsolete. No more relevant. Isn't it? In the television also you will see. Once upon a time it was black and white TV everywhere. Now who is using black and white? Nobody. So what has happened? As the time passes, so in every other branches of knowledge there is a possibility of improvement. But as far as spiritual knowledge is concerned, there is no possibility because this is the highest. Param. How can you have one more step ahead of param? Not possible because this is the best. There is a possibility of improvement in every branches of science, but not for this. In every other branches of science, you will find someday or the other it will become irrelevant. But as far as this is concerned, it is eternal. It is permanent. It deals with the absolute, the ultimate. Therefore, it is param. And with respect to result, the person who gains it, what will happen to him? In the next verse, Bhagavan says, Mama sadharmyam agata. He becomes one with me. The knower of God becomes God. Now, can you think of anything higher? Uttamam jnanam, therefore, is the best, the ultimate, because it makes you the ultimate, it gives you the ultimate. It is this knowledge gaining which there exists nothing else to be known. Yajñātva neha bhūyonyat jñātavyam avachishyate. Knowing which there is nothing else to be known, therefore it is uttamam jnanam. Knowing which you become totally contented, therefore it is uttamam jnanam. Knowing which you become immortal, therefore it is uttamam jnanam. Knowing which you become infinite, therefore it is uttamam jnanam. Knowing which you experience infinite bliss, therefore it is uttamam jnanam. Knowing which you become a complete master of your mind, therefore it is uttamam jnanam. Knowing which you get a clear understanding about life and about yourself, therefore uttamam jnanam. Right? So like this, there are so many ways in which this knowledge has been praised. 9 chapters starts like this. Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Pavitram Midamuttamam, Pratyakshaavagamam, Dharmyam, Susukham, Kartumavyayam. Adihi Bhagavo Brahma Vidyam Varishtam, Sada Sadbhis Sevyamanam Nigudham, Yaya Chirat Sarva Papam Vyapohya, Parat Param Purusham Yati Vidwan. The great Rishi, Ashwalayana Rishi, he approaches Lord Brahmaji and then he says, "O Lord, please give me this knowledge which is Varishtam, the best, the ultimate, which is sought by all the great peoples at all the times. Sada Sadbihi Sevyamanam." All the great people, the noble people, the wise people, the evolved people, the mature people, they seek this and this knowledge alone. There is one such knowledge. Oh Lord, please give me that. So therefore this is uttamam, the best. And therefore the best ones seek it. Mediocre people, they get tempted by so many inferior branches of knowledge. This knowledge being the best is sought by the best. That itself is the qualification. Uttamam jnanam. Yajñātva munayaha sarve. Knowing which sarve munayaha, all the great contemplative people, what has happened to them? Param siddhim itaha gataha. Itaha, after death. After finishing this lifespan, what has happened to them? Param siddhim gataha. They have attained absolute perfection. These are all the glories of this knowledge. So what does Bhagavan say? Arjuna, I will give you that knowledge. Pravakshyami. Again I will give you, because I want you to get it. Bhūyam pravakshyami. That knowledge which is jnananam uttamam jnanam. Jnananam param jnanam, the supreme knowledge. And who are the ones who seek this knowledge? Not ordinary ones. Ordinary ones are only after Kamini, Kanchana, Kirti, as Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says. Who are those people who seek this knowledge? Yajñātva munayaha. See the term used. Munayaha. Munis. Now who is a muni? Muni is not the one who has, hair tied with lot of rudrakshamala, with bhasma, chandana. No. Muni means mananashilaha. Contemplative ones. Those who have thought about life. Those who have gone through all the experiences of life, thought about them, and concluded that this knowledge is the highest. Such people are called munis, for whom this knowledge occupies the highest priority in their life. Those people who have dedicated their life totally for this knowledge. Day and night they work on this knowledge. All the time they analyze all the experiences of life in the light of this knowledge. Right? Those munis, those who live a life centered in this knowledge, such people are called here as munis. Mananashila. Any experience, any situation in life, they will handle the situation based on this knowledge. Such people are called munis. So by using this one term, Bhagavan has added so many virtues, so many qualifications which a true spiritual student must have. What are they? Number one, Shraddhā. Shraddhā means faith in this knowledge. That is where everything starts from. The faith that whatever is said in the scripture is true. Shraddhā. Kaivalya Upanishad says, what is the way in which we can gain this knowledge? So Brahmaji tells this Rishi, Ashwalayana Rishi, Tasmai sahovacha pitamahascha Shraddhā Bhakti Dhyāna Yoga Davaihi. Tasmai sahovacha. That Lord Brahmaji told this Ashwalayana. What did he say? Gain this knowledge by Shraddhā, Bhakti and Dhyāna Yoga. Essential qualifications. Number one, Shraddhā, faith. Faith in what? Faith in the validity of this knowledge. Faith in God, faith in scriptures, faith in the Mahatmas, the teachers, and of course the faith in oneself that I also can gain this knowledge. Shraddhā. The second one is Bhakti, love for this knowledge. You must love this knowledge. You must revere this knowledge. Bhakti. So where there is love, where there is faith, and then naturally the third thing will happen. What is the third thing? The effort to gain this knowledge. You have faith that this knowledge is absolutely right. You have faith, in yourself. And also you love this knowledge. Then what will happen? Dhyāna prakriya will begin. Dhyāna prakriya means effort. So love for the subject, faith in the knowledge, love for the knowledge, faith in the knowledge, and effort to gain the knowledge. Bas. So a person who has this, such a person is called a muni. So yajñātva munayaha sarve, all the munis, all those contemplative ones who have kept this knowledge as the highest goal of life. What has happened to them? Param siddhim gataha. They have attained param siddhim, the ultimate state of perfection. So here plural is used. Munayaha is plural, it's not singular. So what does it mean? Very many have reached. So therefore you also can reach. You see? It is not difficult. The question is only choosing. Choose this knowledge to be the very goal of life, and then you will get it. This is the law of life. Wholeheartedly what you choose in life, you will get it. There is no doubt. From the depth of your heart, if you can focus your mind upon one thing, whatever it can be, it may be the material goal or spiritual goal, you will get it. So therefore Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, this is the one thing you must gain, because it will put an end to all your sufferings in life. Ultimately, what do we want? These are the two things we want in life. One is peace, the other is security. I want to be happy. I want to be happy for all. Eternally happy. I want to be happy. I want to be eternally happy. Isn't it? This is the basic, desire which all of us have. But how to get this happiness, we don't know. So therefore we are misled by so many other things. Now here Bhagavan is guiding the right path. Arjuna, there is a way in which this desire can be met. It can be satisfied. And what is the way? Spiritual knowledge is the way. And all those people who have chosen this path, they have reached. You should become a Muni. That's a condition. Muni means what? You must have Shraddhā, you must have Bhakti, and you must put forth effort in the right direction. If this much is done, definitely you will get it. There is no doubt about it. Idam jnanam upashritya, having gained this knowledge, mama sadharmyam agataha. All these munayaha, what has happened to them? They have become one with me. Sadharmya means my nature. They have attained to my nature. That's why we say Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. Knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. Knower of mathematics will not become mathematics. Knower of physics will not become physics. In every other branch of knowledge, you will find that the knower remains separate, the knowledge remains separate. But here something unique happens. What is that? The knower becomes the known. Just like the knower of the dream, you are dreaming. And the moment you come to know who this fellow who is watching the dream is, that moment itself you become the waker. Isn't it? So here also it is something like that. The knower of God becomes God. And what will be his experience? His experience will not be aham jivosmi. His experience will be aham brahmasmi. And once the teacher gains this knowledge, he can confidently tell his shishya also, tat tvam asi. You are also that. This knowledge is available for all, irrespective of caste, creed, gender, age, nationality, religion. It is no bar. This royal path is available for everyone, provided you must have this qualification. What is the qualification? Have Shraddhā, have Bhakti. In short, have a pure mind. That's all. Live a good life. Cultivate all noble virtues. Have devotion for God. And once that mind is pure, then you become fit to gain this knowledge. And what are the results? The result is you attain absolute perfection. You attain to my nature. Mama sadharmyam agataha. But Bhagavan, what is the use of What is the use of becoming God? What is the, what you call? What is the benefit? Bhagavan says, Sarge api na upajayante, pralaye na vyathanti cha. He becomes free from birth, death cycle. Sarge. Sarge means what? Sarga means creation. During creation, he is not born. Pralaye, during dissolution, he doesn't grieve. At the individual level also it is true. At the cosmic level also it is true. At the cosmic level, Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. It's a continuous process. As far as Srishti, Sthiti, Laya is concerned, this person who has become liberated, who has become a Jivan Mukta, liberated by living, as far as he is concerned, he is not bothered. He is not bothered because he has gone beyond that. At the individual level, what is this Sarga and Pralaya? It is nothing but birth and death. Sargena upajayante. He is not born again because the purpose of his life has been served. Pralaye na vyathanti. At the time of death also, there is no fear of death. Why there is no fear of death? There is no fear of death because he has experientially understood that there is no death. Death is mere illusion. Body dies, but the self doesn't die. This knowledge he gains. So these are all the benefits. So what is the purpose of telling all this? The purpose is only one. Choose this knowledge. Swamiji, does it mean that I should give up my family, my wife, my children, my husband, my responsibility? Does it mean that I should run away from all this? No. Choosing this knowledge doesn't mean running away from responsibilities. Choosing this knowledge means giving highest priority to this knowledge. Choosing this knowledge means day-to-day situations are there. Learning to deal with this situation in the light of spiritual knowledge. Choosing this knowledge means training the mind to think in a spiritual way. This is the meaning choosing. Every situation the mind has to respond. If you can train the mind to respond in a spiritual way, then you have chosen this knowledge. You may be amidst all worldly responsibilities, but still you will be considered a spiritual person. Many times people come and say, Swamiji, you are so lucky. We are here with all the samsara, etc. How can we be spiritual and all that? Nonsense. They think that all these worldly responsibilities, they are some kind of impediment, obstruction in the path of spirituality. No, it is absolutely not. In fact, out of great compassion and love, in His omniscience, Bhagavan has given you these responsibilities so that by fulfilling these responsibilities as a worship of the Lord, you can attain to your supreme perfect state. So every, they are all stepping stones, as they say. So never feel that our environment, the situations where we are in, that is preventing me from becoming spiritual. Never say that. Your environment can never be an obstruction. What is important is living a life, remaining wherever you are placed, accepting it with total surrender, not complaining or grumbling, but whatever situation you are placed in, learn to handle these situations in the light of spiritual knowledge. That is all what is needed. So therefore, even a grihastha can also become a muni. So here when we say muni, does it mean sannyasi? Does it mean outer sannyasi? So any person can become a muni, provided he has given the highest importance, priority to this knowledge. So now Bhagavan starts giving this knowledge. So first of all, he prepares the stage. So let us chant third and fourth verse. Mama yonir brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhavas sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata sarva yonishu kaunteya murtaya sambhavanti yaha tasam brahma mahad yonihi aham bija pradah pita mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhavas sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata sarva yonishu kaunteya tasam brahma mahad yonihi aham bija pradah pita. Yes. Now since a new topic begins from here, let us take it up tomorrow only. Because otherwise I have to speak for 2 minutes and then I have to break. So the best thing is, let us start it. Let us start the topic tomorrow properly, so that there is no break, there is no discontinuity. Right. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayah sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet asato ma sadgamaya jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.